for those of you who don't know me, my name is Jackson Lawyer. I'm an abiding fellow here at church, and you can usually find me here every week helping during Sunday school. I actually first came to Abiding Presence 14 years ago and stayed for about 4 years before moving to LA. My family liked it here so much that another 4 years later, when we moved back to the DC area, close proximity to this church was a deciding factor in our search for a home. Right now, I'm a senior at Centerville High School, where I've been running track and cross country for the past 4 years. And in June, about 3 weeks after I graduate, I'm going to be leaving for Colorado Springs to complete basic training at the United States Air Force Academy. I never really questioned growing up in a church-centered family. My parents made sure that I knew that God loved me and protected me, and I went along with it. I listened and went to the normal church things just like everybody else. Despite this, religion was a background part of my life, and I didn't really think about my faith outside of getting up and going to church once a week. Within the past year, though, I've decided to grow closer to God and have built a much stronger relationship with Him through prayer. I credit the beginnings of my prayer habit mostly to my sport, the passion I felt towards it, and to the amount of time and effort that I dedicated to running caused me to turn to God. I prayed often for strength, confidence, and fast times, but my prayers were selfish, and I would only ever ask God for things. Now, I want to make a point to say that these things were obviously not always granted to me, but I'm going to come back to this later. So, over time, I began to pray for other things as I grew, and thanked God for gifts already given to me. I reflected on my past day or week, and I prayed for others too. I also tried to work on confession, and I started trying to put more conscious work into myself, strengthening my body and my mind. And I was starting to feel closer to God. It was helping. One of the things I noticed, though, about wanting to grow one's faith is you start to notice God in unexpected places. For me, it was in creation, and I saw God in the mountains or the sunset, or if it was just sunny and there was a nice breeze. I would take time and appreciate that. Actually, last week, I had a bowl of food that was so good, I stopped in the middle of it to give thanks. And it was that good. Being conscious of the Lord in my life kept me centered, but also grateful, and it's a trait that I try to reflect more often as I go through my day. That's still not what I want to talk to you about, though. I want to speak with you guys tonight about how I found that God answers prayers. One of the biggest questions that I think all of us have asked at least once is, if God is so good, why is there so much bad? And it's an important one. It's my firm belief that God has a plan for all of us. And I believe that He shows us this plan. He shows us His vision. Everybody has a dream, right? What I've come to understand, however, is that God does not show us the path, our way to achieve this dream. This is our responsibility, but that doesn't mean we're all alone. Of course, we know that God is with us, and He's alongside us, and He helps us develop us into who we're meant to be. I want to ask you a question. If you pray to God for strength, will He give you strength? Or will He give you challenges to overcome? One more time. If you pray to God for wisdom, will He give you wisdom? Or will He give you lessons to learn from? You see, God doesn't give us what we ask, but He gives us the means to build our character and the opportunity to grow into a better person. It's a chance to progress towards God's vision for us all. Life isn't meant to be easy, but it's meant to serve us as people. Everything that happens, whether it be good or bad, is an opportunity to learn. And God allowing challenges in our lives, the painful and difficult moments, are ways for Him to shape us and refine us into the people He created us to be. 1 Peter chapter 5, verses 6 through 7 says, "To humble yourselves, therefore, under God's mighty hand, that He may lift you up in due time. Cast all your anxiety on Him, because He cares for you." This is a message about God's timing, that despite the difficulties, challenges, and pain, His timing is perfect and designed to shape us into the people who are equipped to live out God's plan in the world. He knows it won't be easy, but in short, that's the point. Challenges can deepen our trust, refine our purpose, and align us with God's perfect will for us. Even though we may not always understand the purpose of each difficulty, we can be confident that God is there, protecting us and molding us. I want you all to remember that challenges are opportunities to learn, that God is always with you, that He loves you, and that He does hear and answer your prayers. Thank you.